It's almost like Zimbabweans came together and had a secret meeting to agree what was valuable to them. For example, does it make sense that a house that costs, let's say, 1 million in rands probably costs three times that in Zimbabwe? It's crazy. And yet, the one in South Africa probably looks much more beautiful. It looks, in a better neighborhood, and it just looks really nice. So it begs the question: how is it a house which is almost run down in Borrowdale, Waterfalls, or any of these areas can cost 300,000, 400,000, 500,000? So this is where I think there's a conspiracy there, because Zimbabweans must have come together to agree that a property should have so much value and then protect that idea. But it's not just property. I'm also going to discuss two more things that I think Zimbabweans came and did a secret meeting on. So when it comes to properties themselves, well, there's two types. And when people buy these properties, they buy them out of emotion most of the time. But the one that is very, very valuable is the property that has title deeds. Because these title deeds mean a lot, even if the currency changes. Now, remember back in the day before we had the US dollars, these houses cost a lot of money when we had our own Zimbabwean dollar. And even till today, these properties cost a lot of money. So it doesn't matter what currency comes. It just readjusts itself and just become as expensive as it was when there was the US dollar, or whatever currency that is. So a lot of times people buy these properties which don't have value because they fall into the trap of wanting to own a property, but they don't do enough due diligence. So you end up having a property that is not worth anything. And I'm sure you've seen some of these properties getting destroyed by the council because they have not been constructed on land that has been approved by the council. I know it's sad to see, because when we see that, we feel very sorry for someone that has built the house and has been living there. But there's a reason why. There's supposed to be due diligence, and there's a reason why lawyers have to be involved, because at the end of the day, the property that has the title really is way more valuable than anything. And this is why a lot of people are trying to be on the property ladder. That's why it doesn't make sense why houses cost millions in Zimbabwe. So this currency now, why I'm calling it a secret currency is because when I sold my property or my piece of land a few years ago, the person that was selling it sold it because he had a child that was going to university. He had three of these stands and he was selling one of them because one of his kids was going to university. And I literally just paid quite a lot of money for it, and it was very surprising. And that was, job done, deal done. But the good thing was, obviously, it had title, everything was in place, the lawyers were involved, therefore everyone was happy at the end of it. So the other personal example that I can share as well is there's a piece of land that was worth 25,000 3 years ago next to my house. And I was procrastinating on purchasing it. But the real truth was I didn't have the money, to be honest. I rather wanted to focus my money on things that really made money rather than future investments. So a few weeks ago, I asked how much the property is now, and guess what? It's now going for 35,000. Just a small piece of land, 200 square meters. I mean, isn't that crazy? And this money that we're talking about, it's real money. It's not like it's fake money. It's real money. That's what you pay. And I just find it fascinating that this sort of like hidden currency, and I'd like to hear your thoughts, by the way, about this conspiracy that I think is going on when it comes to property in Zimbabwe in the comments box. So anyway, that is one of the ways that people have this secret currency. So even right now, if you were to purchase pieces of land which has title, they will be worth a lot of money, even in the future. Guaranteed. You know why? Because as we speak, they are hundreds of thousands of people, Zimbabweans rather, in the diaspora. And at some point, they want to live in Zimbabwe. So imagine you having pieces of land that you're just sitting on, and then you start selling them maybe in 10 years' time when people start retiring. That's a lot of money. That'll be worth a lot of money. So even just buying them now and just leaving them there, it's amazing how that can turn into a lot of money. So the question is, where am I going with this? Hey, by the way, we have a vehicle that we're working towards, which is called Kumusha Investments. This is an opportunity to invest in property and businesses back home in Zimbabwe in a very secure platform. The link to that is in the video description below. Go ahead, join the WhatsApp group. We're still working on it, and don't be left out, because once this thing gets off the ground and people start investing, don't say I didn't tell you. Okay, the link to that is in the video description below. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So that's the first currency. The second currency is cattle. I know it sounds crazy, but if you steal a cow in Zimbabwe, you are in trouble. Again, I think the Zimbabweans sat down and decided, hey, you know what? Cattle is worth a lot of money, so let's protect it. The same way title deeds are well protected. I mean, if you talk to anyone right now who's not biased, that has purchased land and knows anything about title deeds, they'll tell you that title deeds are seriously protected in Zimbabwe. Seriously protected. There is no messing around when it comes to title deeds. Yes, there are dodgy people that try to fake them and all of that, but of course, you'll find people like that. But I mean, overall, it's very secure. So let's go back to the cattle. When it comes to the cattle, that's another area where if you're moving your cattle from one place to another, you have to have documentation, and there's no messing around on that one. It's serious. And if you do steal those cows, the crime itself is serious. It is serious. So if you have a lot of cows, again, that is a lot of wealth, because a cow can easily go for $500. And if you have, let's say, 1,000 of them, you're worth a lot. Do you see what I mean? And that is why it's used for when people get married. It's used as a currency. So that's another currency that is sort of like hidden. Let's move on to the next one. And this one here is actually very sad. I've spoken about it before, and that is the women. The women are used as currency, unfortunately, because anyone who has daughters, they know that when the daughters are about to get married, they are going to charge quite a lot of money for the daughter to get married. Even if you're marrying someone who's 40 years old, guaranteed you're going to be paying at least 5,000. Now, 5,000 may seem like it's not a lot of money, and I'm not by any way advocating that people should, just marry for free. No, I believe that marriage should be a token of appreciation, and it should be very reasonable. And I know reasonable means X amount to this person and X amount to that person. But yes, some parents and some families are taking this to the next level, where they can ask for 15 cows, okay? 20 cows. Now 20 times 500, how much is that? That's serious money. And sometimes they also want cash. So that's another currency. So when you look at our daughters, they are looked at as forms of currencies. And this one here, like I said, is a sad one for me, because it shouldn't be that way. But that is how things are run back home. You could find someone walking, maybe driving a very old car, but the guy has 5 stands. That guy is worth a lot, because when he starts selling them, he wants cash. There's no messing around when it comes to purchasing houses and purchasing land. People want cash. And again, when it comes to the marriage part of it, yes, people, the parents, they charge quite a lot of money. We're talking about, it's not rare to hear that, people want 10 cows, 15 cows, sometimes even 20. And then they tell you, oh, you can pay overtime. And then in the meantime, as a son-in-law, you have to, help out big time. So again, all that, like I said, it comes as a form of currency. So if you have five girls, man, you're in big money. Although I don't subscribe to that way of making money. But anyway, I thought I'd share these hidden types or hidden currencies in Zimbabwe. What do you guys think? I mean, I'd like to hear what you think in the comments box below, because man, when I sometimes I sit and I look at the situation back home, I tend to wonder why things are the way they are, because it looks like the houses are inflated. It looks like the cows don't really lose value no matter what time you are purchasing the cows. It seems like it's pretty much the same throughout. So those are my thoughts. Let me hear what you guys think in the comments box below. Don't forget to subscribe and join the WhatsApp group. That WhatsApp group has a massive opportunity of you becoming an investor and also owning a piece of property, whether it's for retirement or whether it's a property for you to sell and make a profit on. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.